Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome aboard, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Now the night Explain 1972 stream, and tonight we got something different for you. We're heading up north. We're actually going to go from Salt Lake City up to Canada on Vatsim. It's the Friday night ops, and that means it's going to be crazy going into Calgary tonight. As I'm looking at the charts here, there's already, let's see how much arrivals are heading into Canada. It's quite a few. And a lot of times with these Friday night ops, it gets crazy once you get in. You got to hold and do all kinds of crazy things. But it should be fun. Right now, there's 76 arrivals into Calgary and 14 departures. We should have Vatsim all the way up for us. And as you could tell, it is already snowing. And it is snowing hard in Salt Lake City here. I mean, look at this. I don't think I've ever seen it like this. Normally you can see the mountains in the background over here and downtown, but we'll work with it, see what we got. And Salt Lake City, of course, is a beautiful airport to fly in and out of when you can see. And actually, I'm trying to find my airplane here. We're somewhere over here in the gates, man. Whoa. And we are flying the... There we go, we're over here. Delta gates. Nice. We are flying the IXCG A320. Sorry, IXCG now. The Flight Factor A320 is what we're going to be flying today. And we're going to take it up to Calgary. Let's go ahead and jump in it. As you could tell, it is snowing outside. Yeah, it's snowing right now. Let me go ahead and kill this music too. Yeah, there we go. Alright. We are up front in the cockpit, cold and dark as usual. And man, look at that. It's beautiful. I don't know if you could tell, but you could see the effects on the screen here, which is the rain effect, which is one of the better ones that I've seen done. So we're going to work with that today. And everything is set up on SimBrief as usual. And I use the Navigraph charts, which I'm going to show you on the AFB down here once we go in this flight and start doing it. But let's start it up as usual. Battery 1, battery 2, and it's showing voltage. So we have 27 volts on each side, which is good. And we're going to also just turn on the ground power immediately, because that is required to power up this airplane. And ground power is available. Here it is. Let's go ahead and hit it and get this thing off the ground, man. Should be a fun stream tonight, based on what I've seen and the traffic that's out there. So hopefully we have some fun, learn some things. And if you guys missed the last stream, I had an epic go around in San Diego, man. With the weather just got bad on me, really bad. But that's another time, another stream. Let's align the IRSs here, straight to nav. And if you guys can hear me properly, or if you have a problem with the sound or the sound of the airplane, let me know. I can always go ahead and adjust the volume for you guys to hear properly. Alright, so nav's aligning. Screens are coming up. Let me just right away put in the IRS data. Hold on, what did I press? Go to the init page. Here we go. We're going to go from KSLC, Salt Lake City, to CYYC. Fun thing is that I have never flown into Calgary before. This is my first time going in. I just downloaded a freeware scenery from off the org store. And I'm hoping it's a good scenery, and I'm hoping that it turns up nice on stream here. So that's what we're going to be working with today. And we'll see how it goes. I like flying into new airports on challenge, just, you know, planning the arrival and have it executed properly. I like doing that. So we'll do that. Alright, let's turn on the emergency lights. Arm them. Let's turn on the nav lights. Here we go. Let's turn on the no smoking sign. On. And I'm going to run through and take a little bit of time today, because a lot of people say they've never seen this airplane in action before, and they want to learn how to do the cold and dart startup. So I'll go a little bit slow just because. So nav lights, no smoking sign, emergency lights are on. Seatbelt signs will leave off for now. Let's see what the outside temperature is, because we might want to get the APU going too, so we can warm up the cabin. And outside temperature is -2. Yeah. So you know what? Let's get the APU fired up. Once you turn on the master switch, you gotta wait 1, 2, 3 seconds and start it up. And that way we can provide heat for the cabin. And APU is coming up here. Flap is open, and it's going to be starting up. Here goes the N1 on the APU and the EGT climbing up. And if you turn on the air conditioning, you can see that in the cabin it is 1 degree, so that whoever is going to come on is going to freeze. So that's the reason why we turn on the APU right away. And once it goes available, I'll turn on the APU bleed, so we can get this thing warmed up. And that's part of the duties of the flight crew when they get on board, to make this cabin nice and cold or warm depending on where you are in the world, so that passengers can be comfortable when they're boarding. So there it is, APU is available. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the APU bleed, and that way we can now adjust the cockpit temperature and the cabin temperature. Go back to air condition. As you can tell, it's pumping heat in all the way up to something. See, there it is. It's starting to warm up. So cockpit isn't really warm because it's up front with all the electronics, but the cabin is going to be climbing. So that'll be climbing to a comfortable temperature. We'll watch that, make it nice and toasty for everybody. Let me go ahead and connect to X Squawk Box. Already connected, and call for clearance, because I like to get clearance to make sure the route that I filed is in the system, and so I can enter it without a problem having to change it later on. Also come over here to the browser and bring up my charts. Yep. And that's Navigraph charts that I use. And this is really handy to have in the airplane when you're flying. You can see everything. It's KSLC, Salt Lake City. That's part of my favorite. Here we go, KSLC. The browser here is pretty good. It's still a work in progress. They still have a lot more to go. But it's not bad to fly with and to just see what you're doing and be able to show you guys what's going on. Also, there's a feature on it which allows you to pull up the airplane directly on the chart so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that here in a second too. Let's also pull up SimBrief, which is where I file my flight plan for weights and balance and passenger load and things like that. And there's also a lot more stuff you can bring up on this browser. You can watch YouTube videos, a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty nice. And the way they allow you to do it, it's pretty sweet. Alright, and go to dispatch here and bring up my flight plan, and you'll see what it is I filed. There it is. Going to Salt Lake City, CYYZ. It's got all the fuel load and everything like that, and the route that I filed. And it's in there. Let's go ahead and bring up the frequency also for Vatsim, so I can have those handy and available. Put them over here. Alright, so that's in. Let me see if there's Salt Lake City ATIS is up. We can check that, and Salt Lake City Center is online. Let's go ahead and pull up the ATIS real quick. 124.75. Let's go ahead and do that so we can listen to it. There we go. Here goes the ATIS.
Salt Lake City
Information Bravo.
Kilo. 1900 Zulu weather. Wind
Salt Lake City International Airport ATIS Information Bravo. 235 Zulu. 1360 at 5. Visibility 1 and 1 half. Light snow. 1,800 overcast. Temperature -3. Dew point -6. Altimeter 3011. Experiment approach is in use. Landing and departing runways 34 left, 34 right and 35. Airport surface detection equipment in use. Squawk mode Charlie on all taxiways and runs. Departure text to assigned spot number prior to contacting ground control. Advise on initial contact. You have information Bravo. Salt Lake City International Airport.
Alright, we got information Bravo,
235
which is pretty good.
Zulu.
Let me go ahead and call up for clearance at Salt Lake City Center. Let's see, there's two frequencies on 12685. Let's try that and see if that's good. Once we get that out of the way, then we can proceed to setting up the airplane and all that stuff. That snow is beautiful. And good evening, Salt Lake City. Delta 2806 requesting IFR clearance to Calgary.
And that's Delta Con, where are you at?
This is Delta 2806 at Salt Lake City requesting IFR clearance to Calgary.
Delta 2706, contact Select Center 120.27, how have you cleared?
120.27, good day. Alright, so it's the other frequency. 120.27. There we go. So there's two different frequencies for Salt Lake Center. And it's the second one here. To 0.27, he says? Yeah, 20.27. Let's try that again. There we go. Alright. Let's listen in for a little bit.
Captain, your car's ready.
Hey, good evening, Salt Lake City Center, Delta 2806, requesting IFR clearance to Calgary.
Kathy, 095, I'm going to hold you for just a second. If I have the aircraft on the other side ready for departure, I'll send him so I don't have to hold you for wake turbulence.
These guys are talking. Let me go ahead and plug in some fuel
Air
numbers
Canada
here.
131, are you ready for departure?
Looks like we're going to have a busy ATC today.
Air Canada 131.
But hey, we'll take it. We like
Air
busy.
Canada 131, RNAV to...
The pop-out EFBs are
RNAV
good
to
things
Wedding,
to have,
runway 34 left,
so you can
clear
fill
for
in your
takeoff.
flight plan and stuff and look at the EFB. I like that.
Runway 34 left, clear for takeoff. Air Canada 131.
But our block fuel is
Us aircraft calling center
6522.
before the Kathy, go ahead.
This is Delta 2806, requesting IFR clearance to Calgary.
Also 2806, Salt Lake City Center, Roger, standby PDC.
Roger that. Alright, so they're going to give us a clearance. Here's the clearance right here. The most important thing is our squawk code, and what are we
Kathy,
squawking?
095, runway 34 right, line up and wait.
Let's see.
Line up runway 34
Call
right away,
sign
Kathy.
6042 is what we're going to squawk. Flight level 380. 6042 is the squawk code. Very good. Double click here. 6042. That's our squawk code. Clear it again. Not 50. 6042. Alright. And if you look at the box here, we're going to put it on all traffic and TARAs. That's what we're going to use. And later on, we'll turn it on instead of standby. So we're good to go. We got our squawk code, and the clearance we have is good. So we're going to work with that. Now we'll come over back to the EFB here, and we're going to fill out the flight information. First thing we're going to start with is, let me go over here to our service and fuel. I'm going to call the fuel truck. Since we're at a gate, we're going to call the gate, and that's going to open up the door right here. Here it goes, the door, if you missed it. And cargo, just in case you need to put some cargo on here. Well, back to the fuel supply. And we're looking
Air
at
Canada 131, radar contact.
6.5 kilo worth of
Air
fuel,
Canada 131,
6522 the fuel. So we go
Air
fuel,
Canada 131, roger, climb and maintain flight level 230, the least speed restriction.
6522. We're going to set that.
File 230, delete speed restriction.
Passengers, how much passengers
Yeah,
we're going to
we'll do
have? Now, based on SimBrief, this flight today, we're going to have on board, let's see here, 54 passengers, so we're not a full flight.
Salt Lake Center, SkyWest 2082.
So go ahead and plug in 54.
Echo 10, ready to taxi with Bravo.
I'm going to set that. Alright, it says
SkyWest
full
28.
flight. And
SkyWest
if you look at the perf data,
I can't get your code sign right. SkyWest 2082.
based on this, our
runway
Z fuel weight
34
is
left,
49.4.
taxi Bravo, Alpha 1.
So we go back to the perf data and see how much we have. We have
Alright, 34 left, Bravo, Alpha 1,
46.8.
SkyWest
And we need
2082.
49. So we're going to plug in about 3,000 more. Yeah, about 2,500 more on the cargo
Got
here.
a 095 RNAV to rail runway 34 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway road, only 34
Make this 5 set. Come back over here, back to the perf data. We're now 49.3, and the zero fuel weight is 49.4. So we're very close. That's it. We're good to go. We have the required amount of weight and fuel on board the aircraft, which is good. Alright. So now,
Rouge 525, report back.
let's go back and put in our flight plan. And let's just get the CFB right up against this so we can see what we want and what we want to put in for the flight plan here. And what our route is going to be. This is all very handy. Alright, takeoff off of Salt Lake City. Departure, based on the ATIS, I'd say we're going to be using, based on the charts here, we're going to be using 3-4 right is the departure. Very good. So, going to come 3-4 right for departure. The ensign 5 is the SID.
And,
Here we go, ensign 4.
420 radio check.
And the transition is going to be Holter. Here we go. So that's it. And then the different waypoints.
Cafe 095.
From Holter, we go direct HLN. HLN. And it's going to be this one right here, the closest one, 350 nautical miles away, not 3,800 miles. Okay. And from HLN, we're going to go, let's see, YQL. So that's going to be Yankee, Quebec, Lima.
Last aircraft calling Salt Lake Center, say again.
And then from YQL, we're going to go Egbal,
Cafe 095.
EBGAL. EBGAL.
Cathay 095, Salt Lake City Center radar contact.
Pretty good.
Cathay 095, Heavy, Salt Lake City Center radar contact.
And then from that, we're going to go into our arrival into CYYZ. It's saying we're going to be using runway 26. So that we can put in runway 26 for now. You can always change that once we're in flight. ILS 26, I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be using. Egbal for arrival. And the transition, let's see, we have different transitions here. Atlem, ILSO, Melbeck, no transition, we'll leave it. Right. So our flight plan is in. See if we have any discontinuities with this that we have to clear up.
Rouge 525, welcome back.
Alright, no discontinuities, but what we can do is come back over here, close this out, and go up here to our plan mode, and the plan mode allows you to step through the flight plan all the way. So we're going to go ahead and step through it.
IFR over to Calgary.
Started from taking off of Salt Lake City 3-4 right, head north, Womex, Ensign, Monkey, Frol, and just scroll through, make sure your flight plan is good, and we're perfect, right up to CYYZ. So our flight plan is set, so we are happy with that. We can keep that in. Now, should I be using a checklist with this? Yeah, absolutely, but I try to do it from memory and not have to bother with the checklist. The ATIS did say the altimeter is 3011, so we're going to put that in here. A lot of times I'll forget something, a lot of times I won't, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, so we can insert this flight plan because we know it's complete and it's ready to go. And we can also go over to the init page, and we're going to put in our flight number, Delta DAL 2806. And if we go back over to SimBrief, it has our cost index for this flight is 5. So that's, they're trying to save a lot of fuel there. Cruise altitude we fly was 380. Pretty sure that was what it was. Yep, 380 on cruise altitude. It will put in the cruise temperature for you. Move over to the second page. And we're going to request a zero fuel weight, which is like 49.3 request. There it is, 49.3. So airplane puts it into MCDU for you, and you're good to go. All right. Come over to the perf page and fill out some information here. Transition altitude in the United States is 18,000 feet. So that's the first thing we want to put in. Now, if we go back over to the perf data, the trim position is up 2.2 right here. It tells you what the trim position is going to be. And that's what we're going to work with. So it's going to be a flap 1 takeoff / up 2.2.
Only center
And
sky.
for those of you guys who are used to flying Boeings, it's way more detailed in this airplane to set up. Once you get it set up,
Sky
don't
with
have to worry
flight
about it
82
anymore.
RNF
You're
to
good to
safety,
go.
runway 34 left clear for takeoff.
There for takeoff. Sky with 30.
Hey, what's up, Basti? Yeah, I am using Track IR. Well, no, let's take that back. I'm using a program called Free Track. It is a free head tracking software that I use, and I like it. I don't have to muck about with using the mouse to scroll on the cabin. Kind of get a little time to get used to, but it's pretty cool. We're gonna flex 45 today. We're not gonna do because it's rainy and windy out there. We want a lot of power. V2 is 126, VR is 122, and we're gonna do 120 for V1. There we go. So that's filled out. Climb is set. Everything else is set. Cruise, we're good to go.
Salt Lake Center American
So,
209er with you, flight level.
I would say the airplane is set up. The way to tell when the airplane is completely set up or fully is that the speed is in manage mode. It's a little dot. The heading is set up. And all I have to do now is put in the altitude on the departure SID. Let's go back to our browser here. Go back over to our charts. And real quick, let me show you this. Press this button here, Symlink, and it actually puts your airplane directly on the map wherever you are on the airport. So that's the gate we're at right there, C gates. So it will show you where you are. It's pretty nice. And the departure out of here, what say that was again? Let's see. That's going to be the Ensign 4 departure, the Ensign 5. And let's go to the SID. Here it is, Ensign 5 departure. And we're going to read some of these instructions on it and see what it wants us to do. Alright, so we're going to be taking off from runway 34 right. I'm assuming unless they change it. It says heading 344 to 4,727 feet. Then a left turn direct to Rado. Then the depicted route. Top altitude is flight level 230. So that's what we're going to put in here. So it says we're going to go to Rado, then Ensign. And if we come back and check, that's exactly where we're going. We're going to Rado first. So we just plug in a top altitude on this SID is flight level 230. Come over here, put it on thousands, get it up to 230. Unless ATC says, hey, it's going to be something different.
Guy with 2082, climb and maintain flight level 230, delete speed restriction.
We're my captain to make an announcement here.
Good afternoon, welcome aboard our flight deck. This is your captain speaking. I want to thank all of you for today. We just entered the last luggage load on board and we should be departing.
625,
I will be speaking to you again later on, so thanks again.
American 209er, squawk 6037.
Seatbelt signs can come on at this time. And we're going to call up the pushback truck because we are all set up to go. We are ready. And let me go ahead and bring up a better pushback plugin, one of the best freewares out there. And I think we're going to be doing nose left.
Please show me where you want to go.
Yeah, we're going to be pushing nose left. There we go. And here seems to be good. Go here. Bring it back to here. Awesome.
Ground to cockpit. Tow
flight
is
level
driving up.
360.
Alright, and while the
30
tow is
miles
driving off,
southeast
we're
of
going to
Bryce
go
Canyon
squawk mode Charlie.
Southeast.
American 420, Salt
There we
Lake
go.
City Center, squawk 6047. 20, Salt Lake City
And
Center,
we're gonna
squawk
also turn on
6047.
the beacon lights. That means we are serious and ready to go here.
And American 420, your
Also, we
radar
can come
contact.
and turn on all the fuel pumps because we're gonna be needing them soon.
Copy that.
All
Squawking
right. Here
6047
comes
for
the
American.
pushback truck to set up. And welcome to a snowy Salt Lake City. Man, look at that weather. That is something else. I don't think I've ever flown out of here in snow before, but we'll see if it's a challenge. You can see the mountains in the back. Alright, let's jump down to better pushback and see what the tug driver is looking at here. He is hooking up to the truck. If you guys ever seen this, it's pretty cool.
Hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
And let me just do this real quick and disconnect the baggage loaders, the gate, and the fuel truck is gone. It's pretty good. Alright, we are set. And bring it back to the airport. And here goes a tug, hooking up. We're gonna get her out of here. Yeah, Basti. I love track IR and track clip and things like that. But I know once I get into VR mode, it's going to be way different. I'm probably not going to want to go back to regular flying again. So I'm holding off on VR. I probably need a better graphics card for that, though. That's what I need, so we'll see, man. But I can imagine the realism on the VR headset. I want to demo it one of these days, though, just see what it looks like. Alright, ready for pushback. Release the brakes. Here goes the jet bridge. And there goes the pushback. Here goes the gate, and here goes pushback. Awesome. Alright, time to go. Turn on the ignition. Make sure the ignition is ready to go. There it is. And let's see where we're pushing to. Alright, we're good to go. And we're going to start up engine 2 first. And we're going to watch for the N2 to rise. There it is rising. And then once the EGT starts rising, that's when the gas is introduced.
City Center 126.85.
Right, 2685. See you later, Skyway.
Alright, there it is. And once engine 1 is ready and it's pressurized, the hydraulics, you'll see the aileron here go from limp mode basically to ready mode is what I call it. And you can actually hear the hydraulics kick in. That's one of the good things with this plane.
Center Westman 209 ready for taxi.
Yeah, this plane is a little bit heavier than frames than other planes, but it's because it's got to run so much simulation. Everything is modeled in this plane almost.
34 right by hotel, Westman 209.
So, especially when it's starting up, it's got to check DRM. There it goes, right there. Aileron is ready. It checks DRM when it's pushing back, and so the frames will drop. You'll notice that. Alright, start engine 1 here. And here it is, N2 is riding, so we know we're good. Looks like we got a Delta right here in front of us. He just pushed back also. Alright, I guess he's going out. And here comes engine 2, spooling up. Alright. Don't hit the Delta. Stop the push. Should be fine. I don't think he's in the right spot. Should be stopping right at this gate where we push back from. And engine is spooling. Awesome. Alright. Here we go. Start a cutout.
Complete. Set. Parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, so everything is set up for us. Both engines are started, good to go. And now we can kill the APU bleed. We don't need it anymore. And also turn off the APU. APU shutdown is good. And we're going to set to flap 1 for takeoff. And we're going to arm the spoiler. and we're gonna set auto rate max. And also we're gonna be doing a flight control check and setting the trim. And once you start checking the flight controls, you'll look and you'll see that it pops up on the screen for you. And that's once the truck is disconnected.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Not a problem. Alright, and just go ahead and turn off the ignition here. There we go, good to go. Here goes our pushback truck. I look at the friction on this EFB, this fingerprint smudge. It's pretty good, man. It's dynamic. I like the details in this airplane. Alright, buddy. See you. Thanks a lot. Alright, let's do our flight control check. Here it pops up for you. We're going to do check right, left, down, up, and rudder check. Check. Good to go. So you know we're good.
Public Center, Delta 20, ready for taxi,
The animation is awesome on this too.
Delta 420, Squawk Mode Charlie.
Alright, good to go. And I guess that's Delta 420 right here in front of me. Alright, flight controls check. Now we're ready for taxi. Get the taxi light on and call for taxi instructions. See if this guy's going to move first before I call for taxi or actually instructions.
Flight Center, Delta 2849, taxi with Chicago. Delta 2849, safe position.
Alright, I'm going to taxi past this guy. Go to the holding point. It's usually where you call for taxi. Here we go.
Yeah, I think we just pulled out a gate, Charlie 4.
Alright, you know what? That's him. Let me stop.
Roger, stand by. Delta 420 heavy, runway 34 right, taxi via Echo Hotel.
Yeah, he pulled out of Charlie 8, I
taxi
see.
via Echo Hotel, that's 420.
Alright, go ahead, 420. Once you get taxi, and I'll call for
Delta
taxi
420
too.
heavy, hold short of Hotel on Echo.
Hold short of Hotel.
Delta 2849, runway 34 right, taxi via Hotel, so pull slightly out and then use the ramp to get over to Hotel. I'll have you join Hotel before the 777 for wake turbulence. Okay, pull out of the Hotel. You want us just to stay behind?
Alright, while I'm waiting on them, we could do the takeoff config test. All we gotta do is press the config button right here.
So you'll take
and there it is, config normal. So we're all set up for takeoff.
Terminal and then take your first right. But it should not be Echo because he's going to be holding on Echo. So you'll stay on the ramp for a little bit, taxi all the way over to the right side, and then that should be Hotel. Join that.
Yeah, Basti, I can imagine how good this 320 is in the VR. But I'm not sure if it's ready as far as the switches and manifold switches and so let me know. But I can imagine how this looks in here. Wow.
Solid Center getting in American 400 with you 51380.
Wow, we're getting busy here.
We're tuning in
There's a
over right
777.
Canyon.
That's the 777 out there. He starts into
American 400
4 left, I think.
radar contact. Welcome aboard.
Is that where we're going? Alright.
American 450.
Wow, we're busy today.
American 750, that sounded like you saw like City Center,
Alright.
Squawk 6010.
This guy's moving. It's good. MD-80 right there.